Hello and welcome. Namaste from New Delhi. I'm Gautam Roy and this is Express News, the show where we get you the day's top 100 developments in a matter of minutes. Let's get going. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a special welcome in Port of Spain as he reached Trinidad and Tobago on Friday for a two-day official visit, marking the second leg of his five-nation tour. The PM was received by Caribbean nation's counterpart, along with the cabinet and senior leaders. Prime Minister Modi, along with TNT's Prime Minister Prasar Bharati, attended a Namaste Modi event where the two leaders addressed thousands of Indian diaspora members. At that event, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago also announced the highest honour for Prime Minister Modi. Addressing members of the Indian community in Port of Spain, Prime Minister Modi outlined his plan for deeper ties with the Caribbean nation. The PM also said that India's growth has been powered by India's youth and they made the nation a hub for startups, innovation, AI, semiconductors and much more. The PM also met Trinidad and Tobago's counterpart Prasar Bharati and presented her with a replica of Ayodhya's Ram Temple, water from the holy Saryu River, along with the water from the Triveni Sangam. Prime Minister Modi also immersed himself in the rhythm of Bihar's Bhojpuri music performed in Port of Spain. The performance was not only entertaining but served as a powerful reminder of the deep-rooted historical and emotional ties forged between India and the Caribbean nation. Prime Minister Modi was also hosted for a dinner by TNT's Prime Minister. At the dinner, Prime Minister Modi met with Rana Mohit, who had sung Vaishnav Janto when the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi was celebrated a few years ago. US President Donald Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill, One Big Beautiful Bill, cleared its final congressional hurdle on Thursday, paving the way for the president to sign it into law. The bill, which was passed by a slim 218 to 214 margin, marks a major legislative win for Trump. This mega $4.5 trillion package fulfills many of Trump's campaign promises. President Trump hailed the bill's passage as a major boost for the US economy, promising it will remake America into a rocket ship. US House Speaker Mike Johnson managed to unite a fractious Republican camp behind the bill, overcoming vocal dissent from within the party. Meanwhile, Democrats led by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries opposed the legislation, calling it a reckless Republican budget that favors the wealthy at the expense of everyday Americans. Trump, however, said that no progress was made with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin as the two leaders discussed Russia-Ukraine conflict in an hour-long telephonic call on Thursday. Donald Trump has shown increasing frustration with Putin after an early pivot towards the Russian leader. Trump and Zelensky are also likely to hold talks on Friday. White House Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff is planning to meet Iran's foreign minister and chief negotiator Abbas Araghchi in Oslo next week. Tehran and Washington have held 5 rounds of nuclear talks since the 12th of April this year and were set to hold a new round of over 2 days before Israel launched a bombing campaign against Iran on the 13th of June. Donald Trump has welcomed and praised his envoy Witkoff regarding the negotiations. And the American president on Friday also said that it will be known by Saturday whether Hamas has agreed to accept his final proposal for an Israel-Hamas ceasefire in Gaza. The proposal includes staggered release of 10 living Israeli hostages and the return of the bodies of 18 more in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. Donald Trump said that he is planning to start sending letters informing trading partners of their tariff rates as soon as Friday, as negotiations to avoid high US levies enter the final stretch. The US president paused the tariff hikes until the 9th of July, allowing for trade talks to take place. US officials have signaled that there could be a flurry of trade pacts announced in the coming days. An overnight drone strike on Ukraine's Kyiv by Russia injured 23 people and damaged railway infrastructure, and buildings and cars caught fire. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched multiple strikes early on Friday using 539 drones and 11 missiles. The Russian Defense Ministry said on Friday that its strikes had targeted Ukrainian drone factories, a military airfield, and an oil refinery. Ukraine on Friday launched a drone attack near Moscow, injuring one person and leaving parts of the center without power. Russia's defense ministry said that its air defense units destroyed 48 Ukrainian drones over 5 Russian regions. Hundreds of Indonesian rescuers have expanded their search for dozens of people still missing after a ferry sank off the coast of Java while en route to Bali. At least 6 people are confirmed dead and dozens remain missing. At least 30 people were injured on Friday after an explosion at a petrol station in east of Rome. The large blast took place at the distributor of petrol, diesel and liquefied petroleum gas. The shockwave damaged nearby buildings. El Salvador's president on Thursday denied accusations that Gilmar Abrego Garcia was tortured in a Salvadoran prison. The migrant returned to the US in early June after being wrongly deported to his native El Salvador. The White House on Thursday shared footage of the meeting between US President Trump and former Israeli-American hostage Idan Alexander, who was released from captivity by the Hamas in May. Ecuador seized nearly 3 tons of drugs linked to the Albanian mafia, which collaborates with Colombian, Mexican and local gangs. The operation exposed cocaine hidden in banana boxes and led to 5 arrests. A Flix bus on the Copenhagen-Vienna route heading towards Berlin overturned on the road on Friday, leaving at least 23 people injured. The bus had 53 passengers and 2 bus drivers on board. Trash piled up in parts of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Thursday as thousands of Philadelphia's largest blue-collar workers' union continued their strike, impacting services across the city, including sanitation. India's President Draupadi Murmu on Friday unveiled the trophy of the 134th edition of the Durand Cup, Asia's oldest football tournament, which is set to begin on the 22nd of this month. The President flagged off the Durand Cup, stating the game as being one of the most popular sports events in India. West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur and Jharkhand will be hosting the games this season. Prime Minister Modi has paid rich tributes to Swami Vivekananda on his death anniversary. He took to his social media platform X and said that Swami Vivekananda's thoughts and vision for our society remain our guiding light. The Indian Navy celebrated the graduation of the second basic conversion course at INS Dega in Visakhapatnam on Thursday. Lieutenant Atul Kumar Dhal and Sub-Lieutenant Astha Punia received their wings of gold. Sub-Lieutenant Punia made history as the first woman to join the fighter stream of naval aviation. India's Home Minister Amit Shah visited the National Defence Academy in Pune on Friday to install a statue of Peshwa Baji Rao. The statue was installed at the place where the soldiers of all 3 forces undergo their primary training. At this event, the Home Minister said that every future soldier who shall pass out from the academy must take inspiration from Baji Rao's life, calling him a testament to bravery and valor. The Home Minister also attended the opening ceremony of the Jairaj Sports and Convention Centre in Pune. In the wake of heavy rainfall in different parts of India, Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken with Chief Ministers of Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Chhattisgarh. He said that adequate number of NDRF teams have been deployed in the states for people in need. Friday marks the second day of the Amarnath Yatra as pilgrims offer prayers at the Holy Cave. The Amarnath Yatra is expected to give a major boost to tourism in Jammu and Kashmir this year, also drawing both pilgrims and tourists. Security has been tightened in Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir as the first batch of Amarnath Yatra pilgrims return after visiting the holy cave of Amarnath. Indian equity indices ended higher on Friday with Nifty around 25,450 at close. Nifty was up 55.7 points at 25,461. The broader BSE, the narrower BSE Sensex was also up 193.42 points at 83,432.89 on Friday. And the Indian rupee ended lower at 85.39 per dollar on Friday as well. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of August were priced at 96,940 Indian rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for the 5th of September maturity stood at 108,190 per kg on the MCX. Brent crude oil settled at $68 per barrel on Friday. Niti Aayog launched a report on the chemical industry powering India's participation in global value chains. According to the report, India is eyeing $1 trillion US dollar chemical output by 2040. The report aims to increase India's GVC share from 3.5% in 2023 to 5 to 6% by 2040, igniting India's chemical transformation and creating large employment opportunities. 700,000 additional employment by 2030. Record temperatures in Japan have curbed matcha green tea production this year, straining supplies and driving prices to all-time highs amid booming global demand for the trendy beverage. Louis Vuitton in South Korea has said that a system breach has led to the leak of some of the luxury brand's customer database, but it did not involve customers' financial information. Time now to take a short break as far as Express News is concerned, but we'll be back very quick in a flash, just like all the updates here. See you in a bit.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what to save your country.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's begin again. Now, the southwest monsoon has reached India with sudden change in weather in the national capital, New Delhi. Indian Met Department has forecast light to moderate rainfall and thunderstorms to continue over the next few days. The southwest monsoon is further advanced over remaining parts of Punjab and some more parts of Rajasthan as well as Haryana. Meanwhile, heavy rains and cloudbursts over the past 2 days have caused massive destruction in Mandi district in Himachal Pradesh. The route to reach far-flung areas such as Saranj and Janjeli have been completely washed away. According to the data received so far, 20 bodies have been recovered, whereas around 50 people are still reported to be missing. Moreover, around 50 tourists are said to be stranded in Janjeli. The IMD has forecast extremely heavy rainfall for the south, Konkan and Goa, Maharashtra and Gujarat regions over the next few days. And over in the United States, more than 300 firefighters have been battling the fast-moving wildfire in central California. This fire has scorched over 52,000 acres of forest land. And in the southern Greek island of Crete in Europe, wildfires have forced the evacuation of 5,000 people. Greece is on high alert, with July marked as the peak fire risk month. And not too far from there, Turkey. 2 people have died as wildfires raged near Izmir, the country's third largest city. The fires have been fueled by strong winds and ongoing drought. In Latin America, emergency crews in Ecuador have been working to address severe flooding and landslides triggered by heavy rains in the Amazon region. Uruguay's government has declared a red alert following a cold wave which has gripped the nation, causing at least 8 fatalities. Back home, the 37th Jagannath Rath Yatra was celebrated in Paris, in fact, not back home, with great devotion, joy and unity. Over 5,000 people participated in this special celebration. The grand chariot procession of Lord Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra moved through the streets of Paris as people sang bhajans, danced and chanted together. In fact, devotees from across Europe, including countries like Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland and Italy, participated in the Rath Yatra celebrations. And India's annual Raja Shankapal Devta Mela concluded on Friday at the Shankapal Shrine in Ladadhar of Udhampur district in Jammu and Kashmir. Situated at an altitude of 2,897 meters in J&K, the religious festival witnesses devotees from all across the nation reaching there to seek blessings from the deity. Now, amid shattered communication networks, people in Myanmar have responded with methods ranging from the old-fashioned to the ingenious to the hyper-modern to keep in touch. In Turkey's Isparta, cultivators are producing 2.5 million cut roses and 175 million carnations annually in an area of 34.5 hectares. This provides an important advantage for both producers and regional agriculture. The Rockhampton Zoo in central Queensland in Australia celebrated its 100 years of operation. Locals reflected on how the zoo went from wire cages with little vegetation to the city's top visitor attraction. And tourists have been flocking to Western Australia's goldfields in Kalgoorlie, as some people say there's still plenty of gold left to be found. Archaeologists have unveiled a 3,500-year-old city in Peru that likely served as a trading hub linking Pacific Coast cultures with those in the Andes and the Amazon. Archaeologists unearthed the urban center named Penico in the northern Barranca province of Peru, which was founded between 1800 and 1500 BC. The archaeologist who led the search in Penico has said that the newly unveiled city is key because experts believe it emerged after the Kerala civilization was devastated by climate change. In East Jerusalem, puppet makers are transforming tin cans, cotton and wood into characters that entertain children growing up in a world increasingly dominated by digital screens. British auction house Sotheby's is set to auction on the 10th of July the original prototype of the Hermes Birkin bag, famously crafted for and worn by singer-actress Jane Birkin. Now, Jane Birkin's leather bag is bigger than regular Birkins and features a non-removable strap. Unlike the model sold commercially, it also has Birkin's initials on the flap. The Federation of Western India City Employees has lifted its ban on Indian singer and actor Daljeet Dosanjh, allowing him to continue work on the film Border 2. Indian film actor Amir Khan's first look poster from Coolie is out. The movie marks Amir's Tamil debut and will be released in August 2025. The Indian Film Festival of Melbourne, that's IFFM, has announced that Indian actor, filmmaker and cultural icon Amir Khan will attend the 2025 festival as its official chief guest. Indian director and screenwriter Anurag Basu's film Metro in Deno was released on Friday. The film is an anthology all connected by the thread of love. Indian film actor Abhishek Bachchan's starrer Kalidhar Lapata dropped on Friday. The film's story follows Kalidhar's journey, who decides to escape after he learns that his family plans to disown him. Actor Priyanka Chopra is bringing the heat in her latest film Heads of State with some seriously high-stakes action scenes. American science fiction film Back to the Future, it's a franchise really celebrating its 40th anniversary. The movie was released in 1985 and cemented its place in film history. English rock band Oasis kicked off their highly anticipated tour in Cardiff on Friday. Now this tour will see the British band reunite on stage for the first time in years. Fans waited long hours in virtual queues to get their hands on Oasis tickets, only to find that prices had been hiked as part of a dynamic pricing scheme. After two opening dates in Cardiff, the Oasis Live 2025 tour will continue with 5 shows each in Manchester and London. Sports now, Shubman Gill has registered the highest individual score by an Indian captain during the second test against England in Birmingham, going past Virat Kohli's long-standing record. Gill's score was also the highest by an Indian batter in England, going past Sunil Gavaskar's 221 at the Oval in March 1979. India's Sports Ministry has planned a 2-day conclave to bring together the national federations, spokespersons and coaches and corporate sector to discuss the way forward for Indian sports. Defending world champion D. Gukesh beat Norway's Magnus Carlsen in the 6th round of the Grand Chess tournament in Zagreb, Croatia. The Indian has taken the sole lead with 10 points after beating the world number 1. World number 1 Yannick Sinner's seamless start to his bid for a first Wimbledon title continued with a dominant straight set win over Australia's Alexander Vukic. Novak Djokovic also cruised into the 3rd round of Wimbledon 2025 men's singles with a commanding 6-3, 6-2, 6-0 victory over Dan Evans on centre court. The match lasted just an hour and 14 minutes. British number 1 Draper crashed out of the ongoing Wimbledon 2025 after losing to Marin Cilic, who took 2 hours and 39 minutes to win the match 6-4, 6-3, 1-6, 6-4. And in another men's singles match, Australia's Alex de Minaur battled back from a set down to defeat France's Arthur Cazaux 4-6, 6-4, 6-2, 6-0. Number 8 seed Swiatek of Poland overcame Kati Mkhnalioff of the United States in round 2 of Wimbledon. Swiatek needed a grueling 2 hour and 25 minutes to beat her opponent McNally. 18-year-old Mira Andreeva delivered another commanding performance to book her spot in the 3rd round of Wimbledon 2025. The rising star needed just an hour and 33 minutes to defeat her opponent 6-1, 7-6. Barbora Krejcikova's Wimbledon defense is still alive at Wimbledon. The Czech squeezed past American Caroline Dolehide 6-4, 3-6, 6-2 in a second round tussle. Diego Jota's number 20 jersey at Liverpool will be immortalised by the club in the memory of the Portuguese forward who tragically passed away in a car accident in Spain. Fulminescence and Al Hilal clash in the quarterfinals, the first quarterfinals rather, matchup of the Club World Cup after both teams delivered huge upsets in the round of 16. The second quarter-final of the 2025 FIFA World Cup pits English Premier League club Chelsea against Brazil's Palmeiras. And world champion Spain made an impressive start to their Women's Euro 2025 campaign with an emphatic 5-0 victory over Portugal. That's 100 done, and that's a wrap on Express News for the moment, but do keep watching DD India for all the latest.